Alright, so really big day today because the big update that we've talked about yesterday has gone live earlier than expected. This was supposed to go live sometimes next week, but apparently, People Can Fly have just rolled it for the PC and PlayStation platforms. So we will talk about all of that and all of the changes, as well as, of course, a pretty interesting quick fix that we got earlier this morning for supposedly a bug that was rewarding way more legendaries than a certain mission was intended to actually deliver. So yeah, let's talk about all of that and more, and I want to start things off with the update that right now is available for all of the Steam users, and it's going to be around 2.5 gigabyte in size. Not really sure about the PlayStation platform, by the way, but that should follow within the next few hours according to this announcement right here. So yeah, if you happen to get this update on the PS5 or 4, totally let me know in the comment section down below. But if you're an Xbox user, then you're going to have to wait a little bit more because it seems that the team is delaying the Xbox version a little bit for this patch, but the Xbox team are being incredibly supportive in helping us get it ready as soon as we can. We are hoping to have this patch ready for Xbox very soon, and we'll update you the moment we have news. So it seems that at the time of making this video, this is a case of getting the patch ready and approved for the Xbox platform, and that's probably why it is a little bit delayed. But with the release of this patch, we also have the crossplay between PlayStation and PC finally active, and you're gonna be able to go ahead and play with your friends from between these platforms. Crossplay between Xbox and PC/PlayStation is still temporarily disabled, and crossplay between consoles and PC will be fully restored once the Xbox patch has also gone live. So if you were wondering why the reason behind that is, it's because not all updates will go live, but eventually once they all do, we're gonna get the full crossplay support once more, which I'm eagerly anticipating because sometimes the matchmaking is not the greatest. I have some lag, not really sure how that's gonna be between my PC and the console players, but I'm kinda looking into more parties to join up and whatnot. But going over some of the questions that were answered regarding this update, do we need a full server shutdown for this or maintenance? And no, the answer is that you only need to maybe restart your game and make sure that the patch is downloading and then applying to your installation in order to see all of these changes that we'll cover in just a little bit. Is this going to fix crashing? Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. One of the main reasons we're getting this patch is for the huge amount of crashes and problems, HUD disappearing and matchmaking crashes and inventory being lost. All of that and more is going to be why this update is even going into effect. Finally, Battle Pro asks over on Twitter, awesome to see an update for the crashes so soon. I wasn't expecting it until after the weekend at least, and that makes the two of us. Is this update also going to include the compensation package, or is it that in a follow-up patch? So the appreciation pack won't require a patch. People Can Fly have confirmed. We don't yet have an exact date for it, but we don't want to keep you waiting for long, so it might just be that we will get this maybe even over the weekend, like how they also worked in the previous one, but it might also drop maybe right next week in the beginning, maybe Monday or Tuesday, so I cannot actually wait to get that in my inventory. But there was a very interesting exploit, or should I say not even exploit, it was more like a bug that was happening yesterday with a certain quest chain, and I'm gonna give a huge shout out to Villain or over on Twitter because he came in and he told me about the Outriders legacy mission and the fact that he got 10 legendaries out of it. And after checking out a few other places including Reddit, I've seen countless threads with people getting like 9-10 legendaries, which is really awesome, by the way. So congratulations to everybody who did manage to get this bug. You were pretty much at the right moment, at the right time, and at the right place. So yeah, congratulations. You probably now have a pretty decent build to roll with in the higher challenge tiers, and you will definitely need that. But guess what? If you are still looking into making this possible for maybe your next character, then it's gone. Earlier today we had a maintenance of about like a few minutes that wasn't really announced until much later, and that maintenance was specifically for the fix for the Outriders Legacy quest. So now it is going to work as intended, and you will only get that one legendary out of it, or if you complete it a subsequent time, assuming that you can even do that, you're probably not gonna get anything at all. But totally let me know down below in the comment section, were you lucky enough to complete this right after yesterday's balance changes, and how many cool items did you get, and which ones of them were even usable. Now, if you don't know what this new update is going to be about and what it fixes, well, here is what it actually does. Actually, a lot of stability improvements for the matchmaking and a lot of crash fixes for the main client, including for multiplayer crashes that could result in the client and players having their inventory completely wiped. I saw quite a lot of comments from you guys that you got your inventory wiped. Well, this is going to further help with that, but there's also going to be an item restoration, maybe sometimes next week, but there's going to be news about it beforehand. Other crashes on launch, which by the way I had so many in the past couple of days. I literally posted a Twitter thread right here, and I was, you know what, just done with the game because it was crashing as soon as I was launching it. Anyway, there's many other fixes in there that you can go ahead and read about. Of course, one person asked over on Twitter again, will there be an ability lock for weapons and gear, which would be really awesome. Like, that would be a really big quality of life change for me. But yeah, fixes first, features considerations later. So it doesn't rule out the possibility for new features to be added in future updates, and hopefully they get things sorted out with all of these launch issues that are still lingering and still causing problems for so many people out there. But I do want to talk about two specific issues that we had with the previous rebalancings, and I guess that I wasn't making myself clear enough, and a lot of people kind of didn't get what I was trying to say. Because yeah, we saw the rebalancing, their purpose was to well, make build diversity a thing, because apparently if you nerf a certain powerful build into the ground, that automatically means that everybody will flock to other builds that were previously underperforming. That is not actually true. Let me just give you an example. The majority of the end game is purely focused on you completing it as fast as possible. That's why we have the timers, which means it promotes DPS. To be specific, extremely high DPS. What does this mean? It means that it literally promotes the best possible builds out there that will go for the highest possible damage per second, which in this case is going to be the weapon damage build. Now, despite these nerfs, what do you think the player base did in the meantime in the past 24 hours? Did they flock to other builds that were underperforming previously? No, they did not. They just compensated for their DPS decreases from the ability nerfs that they might have gone. So for example, in the case of the Trickster, they did not change to an ability build, they continued with the same weapon builds. It's just that they are now struggling more, but they will be focusing more on damage and being more glass cannon, because guess what, that's exactly what the end game is promoting. So until abilities themselves get actually buffed, things are not going to change no matter what People Can Fly do with these builds unless they completely run them into the ground. So there's a couple of very interesting threads over on Reddit, but one of them that I specifically want to cover is the fact that expeditions should be objective based and not time attack based, which, as I've said, promotes glass cannon types of builds because you have to complete them as fast as possible. You literally do not afford to just hang in there and survive, you have to push forward. So the major issue with the expeditions as they currently are is that rewards for them are based on how fast you complete the mission overall. This creates the unfortunate gameplay structure where the most viable builds are limited to those that can dish out the most DPS in the shortest amount of time possible due to the prevalence of kill them all objectives where massive numbers of enemies are thrown at us, pretty much exactly like what I just told you. A suggestion for how this can be changed is to simply reward players for accomplishing objectives in the first place. So let me give you an example what happens if you finish an expedition successfully but you finish it with a really bad timer that doesn't even give you a, let's just say, bronze medal. In this case, you went through the content, you struggled, but you're still not getting that bonus loot at the end. You're essentially not getting that bonus loot at all, only the supposed drops that you would have gotten otherwise from the enemies along the way. But the fact that you finished that entire expedition, no matter how hard it was for you, does not get rewarded one bit. So in this case, even though I don't fully agree with this particular user, what People Can Fly could do is to maybe take into consideration the fact that you also completed those objectives, no matter how hard or difficult that might have been for you, because now in the new content, in the new rebalancing patch, you're going to easily exceed 30 minutes, or let's just say not 30 minutes, but you will easily exceed the bronze medal simply because now you're underpowered, while previously you were more than capable in completing that same piece of content, but now you can't because you were nerfed. So it could have been a pretty great idea to also include these rewards on every single step of the way with every single objective that you complete in said missions. Just my opinion, totally let me know down below. Today this has been pretty much it with the updates, with the patches, and my opinions on the rebalancing, and yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys at it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.